today I'm gonna to talk about actually interesting topic that's becoming challenging in international business. So this paper is a part of a research was done focusing on investigating the decision-making process when you select your foreign market and the critical success factors that will actually lead to arrive at beneficial foreign market. But basically, the paper will focus on looking at those important critical success factors that could affect the choice of your foreign market. My presentation will be divided into two different parts. I'm going to look at the introduction, research purpose, research method, literature review, findings, and finally the conclusion. It's much better now? Yeah. Okay. Basically, we're looking at the background of the research. As you know, internationalization process of companies becoming very important. Looking at the globalization, the impact of globalization becoming very important to opening a lot of opportunities for companies to internationalize their actual businesses. There's two major decisions generally you have to make when you decide to internationalize, having international business abroad. There's two important things. The first important decision is, should I go abroad and invest in that country? So they will be actually relying on different drivers. Why should you go? Once you decided on going internationalizing your business, then you have to decide which is the best country, which is the best foreign market, which is very challenging. You're not going to invest millions. Sometimes could be, it depends. It could be large global companies, billions of dollars, unless you have to make sure that you select the right country. So one of the major things then, which is the best foreign market I should choose? There's two things that you need to look at: how you select it, and what are actually the critical success factors that will help you to get that beneficial, or we call it profitable business location. Okay. Basically, as I said, if you look at the literature review of international business, you find a lot of research focusing on the internationalization of businesses. The research was focusing on the Arab countries because simply the literature review has not really brought attention to that point. How international Arab countries, they actually select their foreign markets, what are actually those important critical factors in the internationalization process. Okay, most of the literature focusing on the Western companies. Generally in the Arab countries, we don't have global companies. I can say we have international, maybe multinational companies, but not global companies that exist everywhere. Okay, so the study was focused on two, basically, on two important large companies from Saudi Arabia. One actually, which I'm going to talk about later on, one is a service company and one is a manufacturing company. I'll try to have a comparative study. If you look at the literature review quickly, the literature review is divided into two important parts. The first one is actually, as I said before, maybe in the introduction, the internationalization process and the international market selection. There's two different approaches when it comes to basically select your foreign market. So the economic approach, they assume generally when you select your actually location, your foreign country for your international business, you're going to go rationally. What does it mean rationally? You make your calculations. So you develop the critical important factors, you look at the costings, the attractiveness of the country, and then you might go and try to have a perfect information about the alternative countries, and then you will arrive at a perfect choice. That could be one of the approaches. Okay, so generally, basically, there are some theories in the international business literature that adapting the economic approach like the Dunning actually theory, very popular. The international product life cycle, very popular. The transaction approach. Those people, they try to follow the economic approach. The second important approach is the behavior approach. The behavior approach, they focus on the international experience and how that could basically have an impact on the speed and the direction of the internationalization of your company. So they said it's not actually calculation based. So this is the countries. I have 5 countries. I develop the critical factors. I evaluate the facts against each country, and then I would try to select the best country that have the highest weight. They said no, it's not mathematical based. So you cannot have rational approach. You cannot actually have a perfect choice. How do you know that? For example, that actually international Arab countries, they select China is the best location. Okay, so simply they said the international experience will be important. So you have to have international experience to look at or to choose the right location and the profitable location. There's some models that follow that behavior approach, like actually the Harani decision-making model, the basically innovation-related internationalization model. They follow that approach. The second part of the literature review focus on location determinants or the location factors. Generally, why they focus on why you invest when you invest in another country. What these important factors that you will give them important weights. Maybe we can summarize it that there are some actually cost-related and non-cost-related factors. So if I want to invest in another country, I will look, for example, at the taxation system in that country. It's at the labor cost, at other cost-related factors that may affect the cost of my production. The non-cost factors, they actually dealing with some legal issues, the cultural issues, political, as we call it, the PEST analysis, political, economic, social, technological. These are very important because if I want to invest in another country, I need to make sure that I have a good business environment, good actually legal system. It's not just related to the cost. So you might have, like China, it's a very important, attractive in terms of the cost. You know, China is one of the maybe it's the cheapest production location in the world. It, I think, comes India the second. So, but some companies, they might actually hesitate to invest in China because of the corruption, legal. You cannot invest in China unless you have to have, you know, what they call it under table money. It's not easy. Some companies, even when I did my PhD in Australia, I actually looked at some case studies. Australian company that invest in China, they said, I'm not going to go to China because it's some actually, there's always a lot of corruption there. I cannot actually. So they maybe switch to another. So the non-cost facts will be very important. The culture issues. So you might have a problem to adapt to that culture. The problem is for international businesses is not just that actually choosing the location, sending people to manage that location. So, and that's maybe later on we're going to discuss is actually the international manager that you're going to send them. Are they going to adapt to that culture or not? It's easy to find people managing, especially if you decided to have a green field or a joint venture that actually belongs, that you maybe own the business. As I said, research methodology quickly, I focus on the case study. Because, you know, looking at the internationalization, the processes generally in management or marketing, to look at the whole process, you cannot use the I would say, the quantitative approach will not be suitable. Because I'm looking to get rich information. I want to understand how they select the country, what are the critical factors in selecting that foreign country. So you need to look at the case study and take it basically generally through the in-depth interviews. So I actually, as I said, I chose 2 Saudi international big companies. I cannot disclose the names, you know, it's a kind of ethical things, but one of them, it's actually maybe, I say now you know it, it was number 2 leading company in petrochemical, but number 1 now in the world. That they have operation in China and Europe. Okay. The other one, construction company, they have operation in the Arab countries, more than 5-6 companies. Countries that actually have invested billions of dollars. Sorry? You know, you might be not the first one, but not the second one, because it's very popular, the first one. So actually, I looked at all the internationalization decisions that they have made. So for example, the phase one, they have investment in China, they have investment in Europe, and I looked at all decisions as well. That second, the second company, the construction company, they have in 5-6 Arab countries. So I actually used the in-depth interviews with the key managers that been a part of the process. Okay. Basically, it was very hard even for me to secure an interview. It took me 3-4 months. It's not easy. Those top executives, as you know. As well, I used some secondary data that related to the decisions to be as a part of actually of the data collection. After I analyze, I use actually the qualitative approach to analyze the data. You know, I use which is actually the developing themes from the interview, and the findings basically came with 4 important factors that you need to consider to arrive at profitable location or foreign market. So once again, this paper focused on the critical factors. So the big research as well focus on the decision-making process. These factors will affect the decision-making process. Okay, but in this conference, I just chose to look at the critical factors. One of the most important factors is actually that comes consistent with the literature review is the international business experience of the selected team that's responsible to select the foreign market. They need to have international experience. You cannot actually give the the lead to people they've never been in other country. They don't have international experience. So they need to know exactly how they can actually collect information, what kind of information needed, what the most important thing they need to look at, how they can analyze it. So that was very important actually, that the management team that will be assigned, that job is to select the best country for my international business. They need to have international experience, okay, in different countries. The market knowledge, very important. I need to know about the markets. I'm not gonna, as I say, to go to China. I've never been in China. Okay, so the other one actually is in-house and external consultation with international business experts. This is a very important point. It's not just my international experience. I need to consult people. It could be in-house within the country, within the company, and external from outside. They have experience. They might have specialized companies, consultation companies. They can help you to get information about how you actually, that's actually foreign countries. The last one, trustworthy international experience manager. This is a very important point. Because simply if the cases focus on the greenfield and joint venture. The greenfield, they own the business 100%. The joint venture, they have a local partner. Whether this or that types of foreign market entry, you need to have somebody from your company or from your actually whatever country that they have international experience and you can trust it to manage that operation. Because he or she going to be responsible for that actual international operation. If they don't have international experience, you might have a problem because you're talking about managing later on. So managing actually that operation. In conclusion, as I said, my research was focusing on investigating the critical success factors that will be important to arrive at beneficial foreign market for international businesses. The research basically concluded that there are 4 important factors you need to look at: international experience of the selected management team, in-house and external consultation with international business experts, as well the knowledge, the market knowledge, and basically those factors will be important when you decide to internationalize your business and select the best foreign country. You might need to look at these factors, and that will help you for sure to arrive at more sound decision. Thank you very much. I think that's my whole presentation. Hopefully that was basically profitable. Thank you.